welcome to 13 Moons Oracle. My name is Jade Crystal, and I am going to tune in to the divine guidance that you need today for this beautiful Cancer full moon incoming. I wanted to connect to the goddesses. I channel a lot of different ascended masters and higher beings of different realms and ascended teachers or angelic spirit guides that have committed to staying on the planet, and I get my guidance and wisdom from them. And I also can tap into your angels, your guides. I offer activations through these readings and alignments. So even if something that I read hasn't come up for you yet, you coming across this reading at the perfect time shows that this is coming up for you, or that this is going to activate into your field soon. And you might just be activated by my frequency of explaining it to you and with you. So let's start with some Moonology Oracle cards and see what energies this full moon is bringing in for us, for the collective. And so this is a collective reading. They are timeless. Whenever you're finding this, you will be aligned with these frequencies and these energies, and this message is for you. Just trust your guides and your angels have brought you here for a reason and a purpose in perfect divine timing for your path. Okay, so this full moon is bringing energies of you're very close to achieving your goals. So whatever goals that you've set for yourself, whatever vision you're trying to manifest, it is coming and is birthing, and you're probably seeing that, but it feels like the collective I'm speaking to, you're in the 11th hour where you're feeling exhausted and tired and like, when will it come? I've been working this for so long, that kind of energy. The answers you need are coming, so help is on the way, and this is going to help you finish that completion and bring this goal into full alignment, into the physical reality. And then you are good enough. So just believing in yourself and understanding that there's nothing else that you need to do or fulfill for this to come into alignment. You are worthy of this, holding the vision, holding strong, allowing yourself rest and relaxation. That's been another theme coming up in this week in personal sessions and channeled sessions online here, that we are enough as we are, and that rest is a spiritual practice. That rest and relaxation is actually an abundance practice and a wealth practice, and it allows the answers that you need to come. It allows you to achieve your goal, and it allows you to rest in the knowing that you don't need to be any more than you already are, and that you have all the resources and everything that you need to fulfill this purpose. So other energies coming in from this moon is believe in your good luck. So you're actually really, really lucky, and you're going to be magnetizing in the resources and the things that you need to birth this vision in the school. Speak your word into being. So really watch how you speak. So watch how you speak about your goals. Watch how you speak about yourself. Watch how you speak about your future and your visions, because you're manifesting those into reality. And you might be interested in the reading I did on the 1-1 portal, as that talked about a huge throat chakra awakening for the collective that is going on right now, and a huge higher DNA frequency activation of the throat chakra as a technological portal to craft your own reality. So you might want to go back and check out that reading if that speaks to you. Now, this one, unleash your kindness self. So learning how to release irritability and impatience. Sometimes when we're in those 11th hours of the final birthing, you're just so tired, you're so exhausted, and it can just be somewhat disheartening. You just think like, is it going to happen? Is it all just going to be like the past? You just kind of worry, right? You worry for the birth within, you worry through the struggles, right? And really allowing yourself to align with your kindest, most warm version of yourself, even when you're asserting boundaries, even when you're saying no, even when you don't know if you're going to make it through, or you have what you need to come into alignment with what you're trying to manifest. These are all natural parts of the birthing cycle, and you are at the edge of a major rebirth of your whole reality, of your whole experience, of your whole being right now. And just hold strong, hold the line, okay? Hold the line for yourself, hold the line for your visions, trust the universe, trust that everything is working out in your favor, even if it seems like something is falling apart. And trust the things that are leaving your experience as much as the new opportunities and new relationships that are coming in. So Gemini energy is here, Virgo energy, Sagittarius, Gemini is doubled, and Capricorn energy is all present in this reading. Okay. When you're in kindness, you're also in gratitude. So that's coming up to anchor yourself in gratitude, in the frequency of grace, and understanding that what you want wants you as well. And you, the collective that I'm talking to, you are in high spiritual alignment. You have purged out the things that are blocking you. You have purged out any of the self-doubt, and you really are able to manifest in a really detached way. You're able to envision it, let it go, and go through. Now, some of you is that you have that more relaxed manifestation style, and then others of you have this more intense, you know, calling in quantum energetics, really anchoring a specific vision, really working hard on your education, your skills, your communication skills, your connection skills to birth this bigger vision and this higher purpose into the earth. And know that there isn't a wrong way to do things. It's what actually aligns you the most to your joy, to pleasure, to frequency, in a way that you can detach and let go. Okay, let's see who's helping. Okay, so White Buffalo Woman, prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is pure. The path of love is true abundance. And Sophia, in the Sophia codes, White Buffalo Woman guides key code 7. And she talks about remembering how sacred you are, and how sacred your journey is, and how sacred every single contribution that you make to another person or to another part of your journey in any life is remembered in the Akashics, and it is anchored through your conscious remembering. So you must be coming into a conscious remembering of who you are. And the collective I'm speaking to, you might have been in this current timeline really remembering all of your lives, all of your capacities. A lot of you are Akashic records keepers and holders and ancient souls, and you live many lives here, and you're on this ascension journey path, and all of those lives are coming into accumulation right now, and they're coming into this beautiful alignment that is helping you choose and anchor divine love, unconditional love, instead of violence, because you've seen how many times humanity has chosen violence and chosen the wrong path, and even healed some of the violence against yourself or spiritual persecution that you may have went through. And you are coming into this beautiful harmonization of all of those lives coming together. And White Buffalo Woman helps to guide us through that, because she is the ultimate bringer of peace. All she wants is for none of us to come to harm, all of us to see our sacred divine worthiness, and that our very existence is a blessing to everyone on this planet, including yourself. That you are among the strongest souls to have stayed here this long, to have come into this place for so long, to have really anchored in many different lives, and to still be here now and have survived, and remember it all and bring it all into this present moment in your incarnation, and then select the skills and the attributes and the lives that will best serve you on your golden path now. Wow, this is really powerful. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. Love brings you all that you need. In choosing love and choosing peace and choosing grace and choosing kindness, but kindness doesn't mean that you're a martyr. It doesn't mean that you're walked upon all over. What is it in Disney Cinderella? They say, have courage and be kind, because you have to have courage enough to say no. Sometimes no is the loving response. Sometimes tough love and telling people the truth is the loving response. And the difference between it is the malice in someone's heart or intent or in their actions. If you are telling somebody things they may not want to hear, but that they need to hear because they're on a self-destructive path or a self-sabotaging path, and you're saying it from a pure place of soul and love and divinity, that is so, so different than someone who is just saying it from an ego-based structure of toxicity, trying to attack and tear that person down so that they don't believe in themselves. And it can often, in the front forecast, look a certain way because the toxic way might be presented as if it's tough love. But the actual outcome of it is in the intention behind it and the purity of that intention, and what the actual true goal behind all of that was to do. Was it to control and manipulate and to play an ego power struggle game? Or was it actually tough love to call out their soul and call out their divinity and their highest wisdom and guidance and love within them? So this is something that must be going on in your experience, or something that you're playing with, or something you've had an experience with lately. Maybe you've had to give some tough love to people who you've seen that you care about, who you've seen were not expressing authentically to you. They were not expressing their best selves. They were running over a cliff, and you were trying to stop them from a divine place. But I'm seeing that that person really was used to toxic relationships, toxic unions, toxic expressions, and so they mistook and misunderstood you in combination with that. And White Buffalo Woman is actually helping to smooth out any misunderstandings and really help to teach that person that there is a difference. They're saying that evil or toxified things or corrupted things on this planet, they can often present the same. That's a really big lesson here. They can often present the same because evil or the corrupted or the nefarious will pretend to be good. But if you really know the energy signature of good and evil, you can really tell the difference, and then no one can deceive you anymore. So a lot of you might be coming into your divine justice and having your sight open that way, where nothing can deceive you, because you really do understand the energy signatures, the embodied feeling of what is good and what is evil, and the different layers of frequencies and the nuances within that, to be able to differentiate what I just talked about, when something is done from a pure heart, when it is tough love and is done from divinity and awakens and opens you up and pulls out the best in you, compared to when it's done from a corrupted, ego-driven place. So we have Teresa of Avila, Our Lady of Interior Life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know the presence of love is real. And so Teresa of Avila, she was really, she really worked with the chakra systems at a time that people were really into organized religion. And she actually had an internal process of renewing the temples within yourself. And now I think we would have a language for it, of renewing the chakra centers and going through the different mansions, she called them, within the body. And these are the energy centers of purification. And it was done in a way that was very in alignment with organized religion, but it was still done in that feminine warmth and love. And this was a time when divine femininity was really controlled and suppressed and had been overtaken. And she really paved a way to have that divine femininity still come through and still be a powerhouse leader. And she was just so loving and so at peace and so connected to Christ consciousness. And you might really resonate with that field. Christ consciousness is coming through you to free you of some of those organized religious beliefs that might still be holding you back, as well as just really being authentically in your path, in your environment, wherever you've been planted by Creator, whether that's a 3D job that you're just trying to leave, but being able to be authentic in that place, being able to really shine and find your inner purpose and your inner expression, and then express it in a way that has changed and adapted with the times and have met the times, but still is powerful expression that helps many. Catherine Laboria. Hold on. Teresa of Avila. I trust the answers I find within me. I know the presence of love is real. So you are really exploring that energy signature of love, and you're really understanding the channels of divine wisdom and strength within you, and the ancient channels. You're just following that over the messaging and the labels of the world at large right now. And you're really just looking within yourself, within your own guidance, within your own intuition, to pull you forward and to drive you forward. Catherine Labourier, a patron of miraculous healing. I actually don't know her, but I feel like you can see the little burn there because I light lots of candles. So maybe that's it also. You are coming out of something that has made you maybe not feel really like good enough, and maybe you've actually asked for some help and some divine assistance, and that's what's coming in here. And you need to seek the answers within, because you do hold all the answers within that. And make sure you are really holding space for what you want to speak into being. Today, earlier when I was doing my own integrations, I was writing about the challenges that I had, and then I was reminded by my angels that, okay, you can purge the challenges, surrender them, but also make sure you write what you want to experience into existence as well. If you're going to write out the challenges, because now you've just solidified the challenges if you leave it there. Close the process by writing out what you are actually birthing into experience, and then really look at the blessings around you. Really have gratitude for the life you've created and all the things that life surprised you with along the way that have made your life better. Okay. So the patroness of miraculous healing. I am ready to heal. I'm worthy of miracles meant for me. So miracles are coming in to help you. Okay. Miracles are coming in to align you, to assist you. And in the course of miracles, miracles are shifts from perspectives of love, a perspective of fear to a perspective of love, and that is a miracle. So new perspectives are coming into you. You are going to have a lot of divine support and help in how you think about things, how you perceive things, and you're going to actually be able to get in touch with the truth of things, which is inherent in all things, but the divine wisdom that comes from really seeing the truth of the reason why people act the way they do, the wounds that they still carry, the things that they still express. Let me see. I just want to see in the book here. Okay, Catherine Labourier embodies our capacity to facilitate our own healing. She was born in France in 1806, and when she was 9 years old, she picked up a statue of the Virgin Mary after her mother's funeral and with a kiss said, "Now you will be my mother." And that's where she devoted herself to Mother Mary. She's always been really connected to Mary. She had visions of Mother Mary standing with a Vesta Pisces, so that might be something you really resonate to. And so she was really shown the gaps within ourselves that people forget to ask about, the things that people forget to pray about, the things that people don't feel worthy of asking divinity for. And divinity is the purifier. We can go to divinity and ask for anything to be purified. Obviously, it works the best with ourselves, but we've all been in a womb and a heart web. So if you're a mother praying for children, for instance, and praying for a better experience for your children or for them to overcome some challenge, you are best equipped to do that because they were part of you. They were in your womb and you have that blood bond with them. Okay. So also she talks about asking for what you need. It sometimes is actually easier to pray for our partners, for our friends, but it can be really difficult to really determine what we need and ask for what we need. And especially if you resonate as a feminine, if you're in your divine feminine, you're probably getting better at this. But maybe you still have some blind spots I'm seeing. So asking for miracles and grace really specifically, and not being afraid to understand that you deserve all the graces and help. You deserve all the best. Sometimes it's really easy to look at our world and look at all the opulence going on and the consumption, overconsumption, and the mass use of resources and the greed. And light workers, star seeds, especially divine feminines, divine masculines, will be like, oh, I don't need anything, it's fine, because I do not want to join the fray. But it's really, really important right now. We're going through a massive consciousness shift, and the Creator is doing a massive wealth transfer to all the people who have been martyrs and ABUSE over time on this planet, when there was a lot of siphoning and there was a lot of destiny swapping and a lot of evils running amok or toxicity running amok. people giving other people their karma because they had better memory through the amnesia layers that we have on this earth. And all of that's being repaired now. All the people that stole energy from other people, they are getting put in spiritual timeouts until they find their powers through unconditional love. Their old ways of toxic patterning or bullying or harassment or even just violence is not working. It's all coming to an end. And that's why we see all this chaos coming. And that wealth transfer is waiting for these light workers and these star seeds that know their worth and can ask clearly for what they want and what they need so that they can share and move those resources in other ways. And that we can create a tipping point. I keep talking about in my latest readings. We can create that tipping point where we can actually move into a place where we are the ones setting the tone. We are seeing more and more things get solved because we're moving resources in ways that actually help one another and share with one another and isn't greedy. And we are going to move out of this control patterns and these toxic ways of being that have enslaved humanity. And we do so by clarifying our vision. It's also been coming up for months now. Lots of you just aren't doing it. Maybe you don't know what you want, but sit down and know what you want and ask for what you need. And Catherine will help you. She also will help you with that spiritual truth because you need to be in truth to understand what it is that you need. And also just really getting through that anger and through any stuck emotions that you might still be holding from any of these lives that might be arising. You might have went through really terrible things that I just talked about, and that might be why you don't ask for things, because you're like, well, this has happened before, or this hasn't happened before, and this is how humanity is, and I'm just over it. I'm sick of it. But we are here to anchor the new. We are here to forge the path. We are here to elevate things, and we need to do that by having a vision and moving forward in what we want and asking for what we need and believing that we can have it. And then just handing over any attachment to what healing is going to look like for yourself too. Okay, so if you're overly attached to your goals or your visions, you're overly attached to how that's going to all look for you, try to let that go and just invite in the feeling of being at peace, being fulfilled, being nourished, being cared for, having financial stability, and all of those things that come with just living your best life on your best timeline. It's also about talking about visions and prophecies. So lately you might have had a lot of experiences where your astral travel, your visions, your prophecies have been next level, like almost like very unnerving and jarring because your clairvoyance is open so much. And so if that's happening as well, just lean into White Buffalo Woman and lean into some of your angels and your guides, and really just know that that's part of your sight opening and that you're safe and you're guided and you can handle it, because Creator would never give you anything you cannot handle. Try not to shut your sight down. If you don't like something, try to pray on it instead. Lower down the intensity, slow it down without closing it, because you really want this to be you really do want these things to stay open for you, because there's a gift, there's a reason why these are opening up for you, and you will need them later. And so we don't want to shut them down now. You just want to be able to work with them and understand how much power that you have in managing them, and also remembering that when a gift opens, it can be really hypersensitive at first, and then as it balances out, it becomes into more of a natural state of alignment and easier to wield or use or access. Layla, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I'm the author of my own story. And so how are you embodying your potency and your power? Your words to create your own reality. So again, this is talking about that throat chakra awakening. And Teresa used her words to create her own reality. She used her words in her divine channels, but she was able to speak on it. She was able to show up and be in it and authentically. White Buffalo Woman was the same. Catherine was the same. They all followed this authentic divine calling within them, and they accessed it through words. And so now you have Lala, and she was married at the age of 12, but she was extremely unhappy as a wife. So she left home at the age of 24 to take sannyasa, renunciation. And she became a Shivite, a devotee of Shiva. And she walked the streets naked, dancing and reciting her love poems to the divine. She wore only the markings of her devotion to Shiva on her forehead. She's the creator of the mystical form of poetry called Vakis, which means speech or voice. The verses of poetry that she spoke are considered the earliest compositions in the Kashmiri language. Her words reflect spiritual truth of non-duality, and she realized as a mystic, above and below. With her poetry, she found unity in all things and the freedom that follows. So some of her poetry. I, Lala, entered through the door of the garden of my mind and saw Shiva and Shakti united into one. Oh joy! There I became immersed in the lake of nectar and died even while I was still alive. What can death do to me now? And so she talks about surrendering completely to her soul. She talks about surrendering completely to her love of the universe and divinity, and she entered a state of blissful union with divine that protected her and brought her through. All these women also have in common is the oppression of patriarchy was so strong in their times that the things that they were able to accomplish were actually so miraculous in and of themselves. But this shows when you are aligned to divinity and you are in your sovereign divine femininity, balanced with your divine masculinity, you can do things that are maybe considered impossible to other people or considered impossible to our times, but this is what you're anchoring. Look at all of these women are glowing as well. You're anchoring your golden light body. You're anchoring your divine femininity in balance with your divine masculinity. Now, you're building something from this because the divine masculine has to be in balance, even no matter what you resonate to. Your divine masculinity and divine femininity have to be in balance to make a powerful impact in the world. Now, there is ego power and there is violence and aggression that you can overtake from that. But this power that I'm talking about, it surrenders to the divine femininity, to the mystery, to the divinity within us, and it partners with that and brings that through the ethers, through the mystery, through living outside the norm, through living almost as a rebel, they would call it, right? But just living to the beat of your own drum and to the beat of your own frequency. And Lala's message here is that you can balance that out, and then the masculine structure within us is the one that is creating the structure that will bring it to the world. It's creating the safety and the sovereignty to actually bring it out into the physical, whether that's through written works or through just being able to stand behind it, to be confident and to express it. And so this is what's coming through for you, the confidence and the words and the organization to express these things and build a legacy on it, to build an empire, to build resources, to build whatever it is that you're trying to build. Some of you it's going to be romance, some of you it's going to be career, some of you it's going to be a strong relationship, some of you it's going to be your work, your service work to the world, and all of these guides are helping you. And the beautiful thing I see here is that all of these women were really in service to humanity. Even though they had gone through extremely hard avenues to get where they were in service to humanity through divinity, and they brought divinity to humanity. And humanity is starving for this right now. And so this is something that's coming through you to be the author of your own story. You're speaking your word in your world into existence. And because it's so aligned with service to others, you are going to be so successful for this. You're going to help so many people. Beautiful. There's so many blessings coming through you here. There's something I can't even name. I'm just awestruck from it. I'm almost speechless from it, but I can feel the power building. You must be able to feel it. You can feel yourself on the fringes of this precipice of something coming through you that is just so beautiful and magnificent and almost unnameable, like the great feminine mystery just coming through you. And it's coming through you through nature and through structure. And so it's that Heros Gamos, that union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And it's almost like everything you have been holding a vision for and you've been holding the faith for. And parts of you sometimes are like, am I going to get it? Is it going to manifest for me? Is it going to happen? I don't know. But then you're like, no, I have faith. I have faith that what I want wants me. I have faith in creators' visions that have been planted through me. I have faith in this vision that is so alive within me. that I've been taking action steps to build, and it's going to come through me. And you've just held that faith, and it's literally about to be so rewarded. It's about to be so, what is that? Validated by the universe. Everything that you've seen and held, and the faith that you kept. Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Empress of Protection. I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. And so, this is a version of Mother Mary that came through in Mexico in 1531 and asked a certain saint, Saint Juan Diego, to build a church in her honor on the Tepeca Hill outside of Mexico City. And it was exactly where they had recently destroyed a temple for the mother goddess Tonantzin, an Aztec goddess of love. And so this is probably a different representation of Tonantzin, the Aztec goddess as well, coming through in an apparition of, like I always say, Creator shows up how we need. So she showed up how it was needed to have her temple rebuilt. That's how I would look at this. And, you know, even if we've never received a mother's love, so there's some mother wounds coming through here, we can really lean into into the divine feminine, on the Sophia Christ consciousness, and really know that we have a loving protection around us. And for some of you that have had those mother issues, you're going to really understand what I'm saying, that there was just this force that always brought love into your life, and the ones that didn't harden and stay bitter, this wouldn't be a reading, you wouldn't have found me if you were in that state. There's keeping that kindness, that warmth, and that love alive inside your frequency, inside your body, has been such a blessing for you, to show you that Divine Mother has been working with you. That Divine Mother has just been blessed you with grace, with love, with protection. And you'll also see that no matter how dangerous the situation was in your life, how precarious, how challenging, how traumatic, some of you have been through a lot of trauma and chaos that have found this reading, and some of you have not, but you've always been guided. You've always been guided. And even when things seem bleak or hard, you were guided again. And you see all the roses around her? I was talking about one of the other readings that in the last 6 months, there has been a lot of Rose Priestess activations. And there's just different lineages of Flower of Life priestesses activating and remembering and having those Akashic downloads from those lineages in those times that we trained as a Rose Priestess goddess. And this lineage is no different. You are having this awakening through different rose frequency activations. And so you might resonate to a golden rose, you might resonate to a blue rose. All of these are connected to different star clusters and star groups. And even you see the stars that are all around her. That's how I see the grid. And you can kind of see, like, it almost looks like a grid connecting into these flowers of sacred geometry, but that's how the womb web and the heart web looks like. And all of these have their light bodies activated because they're all connected to the stars. They're all connected heaven to earth. We are the physical representation of the bridges bringing spiritual energy down through. And so what are you anchoring? What are you trying to bring in? Beautiful. After everything that you've been through, this is like it almost looks like she's in a chrysalis. This is like a rebirth for you, in the sense of, like, you always knew who you were, but there were these layers and these chains on you that were hindering them from being shown on the outside. Maybe you needed other people's approval. Maybe you were working through some family generational things. Maybe you just didn't feel like you were good enough to receive, like we talked about earlier. Maybe you just were oppressed with violence and chaos and trauma, but you committed to overcoming that, and this is what the precipice that you're on. You are on the precipice of the new, and everything that you've been calling in so diligently, because you've done the work, because you have anchored in what it is that you were supposed to integrate. You took those lessons and you brought them through divinity. You didn't turn bitter, hard, or cold. You didn't let the world bring you down. You were divinely protected. You had the grace of Ma. And you worked through those challenges in such a beautiful, pure way. Any violence within, any harm, you just brought it to Creator. Beautiful. Okay, pull some from the Rose Oracle since we're talking about roses. Let's see what the roses have to say. Okay. The Holy Grail. Stop the endless searching and inner quest. So just knowing you're enough. Remember, we talked about this up here. You are good enough. Everything that you need is already within you. You don't need to stop. You don't need to search for anything outside of you. Hold it all within you. You are safe. You are protected. Some of you are single. And some of you have been single and celibate for a very, very, very long time. And you're a little bit scared because of things that society tells you. Because of statistics that you've heard. And like, just even lies that were suppressive of the feminine that could just still live in your ancestral line. But you are the Holy Grail. You have come into your own. Like I said, you're integrating all of these skills and wisdoms and knowledge from your past lives to become this huge powerhouse version of yourself. And you are literally birthing that into experience. And so now all you need to do is stop searching on the outside. Stop over-consuming, overspending if you're still doing that. And just be at peace with what is within and allow it to arise. Trust yourself that you can come through any challenge because you partner with divinity and all you have to do is ask. Trust that the inner world that you've been experiencing and uncovering and de-weeding and just cleaning up and repairing is going to shine through in your frequency, and it's starting to align out in your physical world and to have that same quality of inner peace. And you know how you love to be with the spiritual realms and you love to be in devotional practices, your outer experience is going to start to reflect that. It's going to start to reflect that sacredness that you recovered from the inside. The reunion, soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, and friendship. So this is a few things. Because it's a collective reading, just takes what fits. So for some of you, you're going to be coming into union. You're going to be coming into a romantic partnership, if that's what you've been calling in. You're going to be coming into a special relationship. Well, special relationship, I don't really like to say it that way because we want holy relationships. We want them surrendered to the Holy Spirit. But you're going to be coming into relationships that really truly see you and recognize you and cherish you for what you are. You're going to know that your souls have known each other before, and there's going to be these massive collaborations with that help is on the way type thing energy. I think it was up here. The answers you need are coming, and that's also like help is on the way. And so you're going to have these partnerships, these friendships. It could be a business partnership. It could just be friends that see you and are like-minded to you. But all of this is coming in. There's a reunion coming in for you. Some of you are in twin flame unions and you've been separated from them and you've been praying on this and you've been wondering, how long do you have to wait? And is it meant for you? And you're really coming into terms of what a twin flame relationship means. And it doesn't mean that everyone will get to union in this life because there's just so many challenges and lessons to learn. And so I feel like this card speaks to that as well. But you see all of the gatherings, all of the people, all of the support, and you're just really understanding the partnerships and friendships that you have with divinity and all the support that you have around you. And so you may really resonate to Mother Mary. You may really resonate to Hindu culture. You may do a lot of yoga. And you may really resonate or have been grown up in Christianity and Catholicism, right? You may resonate to shamanism, and all of those things are just coming together in an accumulation where you are starting to understand that you don't have to just follow one path and one discipline. And I feel like this one that says stop the endless searching, like you've just been seeking and seeking. You've been seeking answers, and you've been looking at different spiritual practices and texts and histories, and it's all coming together through this inner quest into a really beautiful balance and expression of who you are and what you are becoming from it, from all of this exploration. And I call this looking for the truth of Creator and the truth of the universe within everything. And I also call this loveism. I used to say that that's what my religion was. So the wild rose, do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness, untamed. So you can't even make this up. I didn't even see that card was in my hand. So you're going to bring all of this accumulation of all of this study and all of this application, because I can see your really strong follow through. So you study things, you drink them in, you immerse yourself in them. You might be Virgo energy here, that where you just immerse yourself in them in almost like an obsessive way until you really understand them. And these are all igniting past lives as well. So you could have had past lives in various times. You could have been alive during the times that these energies were all alive. You might have trained under them, or you might have trained with them. Teresa of Avila, I think Carolyn Myss redid her work recently, so you might have done that. I can't remember what it was called. But you might have redone her work in modern times, and they might just still be working with you now. Often these guides that come up in these readings, they will pull you into dream school. But the wild rose, do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, and be untamed. So stop showing up in a way that people expect you to show up. Stop looking for validation outside yourself and just do it your own way. Validate yourself. Compare yourself to no one but yourself and where you were yesterday, and whether you're progressing from where you were before and where you want to be. And do it in a way that you are your own best friend. Do it in a way that is loving and peaceful. Exit that part of the world where there's strategy and competition and comparing ourselves. And just do it your way. Show up how you think it should be done. It's even a lesson for me. Just really being able to believe you have value, and believing that you will connect with who you're supposed to connect to, and you just do your work authentically, and just trusting, like even when I do these readings, I'm trusting that the people that find these readings, that they're meant for them, and it's going to help them, and they're going to know that it's true and authentic to them, because of what I speak of is going to align exactly with what they're going through in their life right now. And so the Great Mother is coming up again, that Lady Guadalupe and the Great Mother. Surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. Surrender into whatever is challenging you, whatever you're holding on tightly to, whatever you think you need to survive or to balance or to have happiness. Surrender it all. Just let it all go. What if everything you need is right here in this moment? You are completely whole and you are completely safe, and that's all that you need. Surrender it. Let it go. Fall into the primordial darkness and rest. Recover, renourish, rebuild, and plant and gestation. Yeah, like plant those seeds and allow them to come free. We've been so taught that the darkness is evil, but there is darkness that is evil, but there is darkness that, like the womb that we came from, is a beautiful darkness that is safe. Every time you plant seeds down into the earth, there's a darkness there, but it's safe and it's holy. And that's one of the corruptions on this planet. They've tried to make the darkness look unholy because that's where so much of our power lies. And so they want us to think negatively against it. They want people afraid of the dark, right? You only need to be afraid of the dark when you don't know the energy signatures within within that darkness. But look at this, is so beautiful. There's just like an ethereal glow that's coming off of her. She is the light within the darkness. This is you. She is the light within the darkness. She's mastered the element of water. She is in line with her Rose Priestess frequencies. Rose Priestess frequencies are teaching us about abundance, about alchemy, about satiation. You can literally create any emotional experience that you need and then manifest in the physical the resources that you need as well. And all you have to do is be inside yourself, go within and magnetize it to you. You don't even have to work as hard as the patriarchal system thinks we have. And even in this darkness, there's hands. So it's the hands of the divine, holding the tenderness and the sacredness of your soul. The mountains that you've crossed. The evils that tried to keep you down and held you back. The obstacles, the challenges that you've overcome. Wow. You're so strong. You're so strong in a way that the world forgets to cherish and to be proud of, but you can be proud of yourself. Mother, Great Mother, is proud of you. She's chosen you for this because she's seen the purity of your devotion in your soul. And so you're going to have a beautiful gift that you're going to be able to serve the world, and she has chosen you to do that because she knows you'll do it so well. and she knows you'll do it in your own way that will serve the world best. Come to me. Jesus. Attracting like a rose, receive abundance and desires. So here's the hummingbirds. There's the hummingbirds in here. There's the bumblebee. So those are all signs of victory and success. To me, these are peonies. So peonies might speak to you. And then pink is, again, romantic love. It is beautifying and romanticizing your own life and your own experience. And maybe Delulu way for manifestational purposes, but you're also really grounded in reality. You're also really understanding that to envision a new experience and to manifest, you do need to ignore your current reality and your current experience to a point so you can manifest the new one. And you need to be able to do that so you can live in the frequency of the new that you're trying to manifest. But yet, you are still grounded, you are still authentic, you are still honest, you are still whole, and you are still real and here without allowing your current present reality to affect the future manifestations of what you're doing, and you're going to be victorious. And you're literally sitting in your own frequency, you're sitting in your own power, you're sitting in your own beauty, and you're sitting in your own vision and capacity, which has amplified your magnetism, and it has brought so much power from you. It has brought forth so much raw magnetizational force. Wow. Like, how do I explain this in words? It's very quantum. That's for sure. You've done so much work on yourself. You have just fine-tuned your frequency with Creator so deeply that I don't even think you really even understand yourself right now. I feel like you're just going through such a massive shift, coming out of a cycle of overdoing, overgiving, overbeing, into this, like, I'm gonna rest, I'm gonna sit pretty, I'm gonna enjoy, I'm gonna have pleasure, and now things are coming to me even more easily than before. What? When I worked so hard and I was striving for them so deeply, they weren't even coming as fast as they are now. Beautiful. Okay, let's pull one more card. What was this reading of? Creator, is there anything else you want the collective to know about this energy? So believe in miracles. The answers are within. Inner quest. Your heart is a compass. Planetary wave, soul mission, trust the inner call, soul team. What is your soul mission? What is your soul mission? Like today, it came through so clearly. I was like, whoa, like I can really apply that to, I'm very multi-passionate, so I can really apply that to anything that I'm using on this planet, and just came through so strongly today. And just feel the support you have around you in the ethers, all of the angelic guidance, all of the angelic support that you have around you, helping you with this soul mission. And keep trusting that and keep asking for the guidance to come through you. Go within, meditate. If you're not meditating, meditate. There's different forms of meditation. There's walking meditation. There's art, singing, even cooking can be a form of meditation. It's just depending on what kind of like frequency or music that you have playing in the background. You know, I've been playing a lot of light language and activational kind of frequencies around me to keep me in the state of divinity no matter what I'm doing. And so when you can anchor that, when you can anchor frequencies of divinity into 3D reality and keep both going at the same time and learn to have both going at the same time, that will also help to increase your capacity and your power. But see, again, eyes closed, looking within. Eyes closed, looking within, connected completely to Creator. Okay? But then these women, eyes open. Right? Eyes open, looking straight ahead, knowing who they are. Eyes closed, connected to Creator. Right? But then solid in their mission, solid in their purpose, solid in their offering. Being uniquely them without changing who they are, but being authentic and true and relying on divinity to support them. Relying on their elders, their ancestors. You have such a huge spiritual team of support, so never ever feel alone. I hope you don't feel alone. You shouldn't be. And whenever you need, you go back to the Great Mother for sustenance and support. but just express yourself with kindness. I'm just feeling like some of you have been irritated lately. You've been kind of just not really understanding your purpose, or if you're good enough, or if you should be wanting and desiring the things that you are, but you should. Your prayers are being answered. You're really close to achieving this goal. Everything's going to make sense really soon. You have luck on your side. Speak your word. Your world. Speak your world into being. Be careful of your word. Choose your words wisely. Are they creating the future that you want? And allow it all to come to you. There's a huge planetary wave awakening right now. And so there's going to be a lot of us connected within the truth of our remembering, and we're going to be supporting one another. We're going to be supporting each other's missions. We're going to be supporting each other's frequency. We're going to be supporting each other's visions. As we trust that inner call, more and more of us are going to be drawn together and unified to help one another. Okay. Well, I hope you liked that reading. I actually do want to pull one more. Let's do a cosmic wealth activation before I close this. Let's see. Cosmic wealth codes. I follow the most aligned path towards abundance when I do what excites me. I follow the most aligned path towards abundance when I do what excites me. I follow the most aligned path towards abundance when I do what excites me. So follow your pleasure, follow your joy, follow your heart, follow your inner map. What does your inner map tell you to do? All of these women followed their inner heart. Okay, and then watch miracles unfold in your life. Watch pathways that were closed to you just open like magic because you embraced your own authenticity. And you did not dull your truth down. And you did not allow other people to shame you out of your truth because they weren't ready to face their own wounds or didn't have capacity to meet you at what you were offering. Okay, well, I love you. I hope this reading was helpful. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. I am so appreciative of you. I am so blessed to be able to do what I do and be able to support this many people and activating their soul alignments and their frequencies and helping them connect to divine guidance that they may be missing to enrich and enhance their world. And if you want a personal reading, if you want a personal soul frequency attunement, a energetic reprogramming and rebalancing, DNA activations, you can book with me. All the links are down in the description.